After a long break, we finally have our beloved D&Ds back. Sadly, I could not attend MCM and meet the boys myself, but maybe next time. The most upsetting thing about it is that I didn't get Kaerru's new poster art for all of Roster's D&Ds. It looks so sick, just look at it. Anyway, let me recap what happened last episode of One Piece D&D Marines. Last episode, after a very heated and very long debate over a long rest, boys actually rolled pretty good and took the chances Rastaj gave them and just had one guy show up at their door. It was a Basilisk Devil Fruit user whose name is Basil, who is kind of like Zen in a sense that you can look him into his eyes. Fight wasn't long though, our group took him out pretty quick and everyone went back to have their long rest except for Damien, who wanted to interrogate Basil and maybe find some more useful info, but Basil was far more scared of Tavrok than of our cyborg, so Damien just snapped his neck and went back to sleep as well. 8 hours passed, the boys wake up to a very loud noise of what seems to be changing of labyrinths. They go outside and a town that was filled with people is now empty for some reason. They decide to approach Minotaur head looking building, but on the stairs, which lead upstairs, sitting are some fishmen. Bradley recognizes one of them as a member of his father's pirate crew. They roll pretty good on stealth and with Sky's abilities they sneak right past them. They go upstairs and reach another gate, behind which is pure darkness. They sneak through the window of the building that was there and go down the stairs. They reach another gate, but now they hear a lot of people from the other side. Trying to hear what they talking about, Kai comes closer to the gate and it opens. Behind it they see just a huge WWE style wrestling arena with a whole crowd of people sitting there. Oh wow, I just got it, missing people from the town went to this place, to the Monster Slam. On the other side, they see Tavrok sitting with his posse of people, a huge Yeti beast tied to chains, in line almost dead, armless anchor arms. Tavrok suggests they play a little game where Miss Pirates would fight Branch 101 in 1v1, 2v2s, etc. Tavrok chooses his first champion who is Amarillo, a scorpion man and third strongest person on the crew. Against him goes no other than our beloved cat girl, Yokan, 1v1. Yokan against one of the strongest people our boys ever met. I said it in a previous recap, watch it by the way, if you haven't yet. But this fight is definitely legendary and makes this arc so much better. Yokan just dodging every attack, solos Amarillo and wins. Next two people that go are Bradley and Kai, and they choose to fight Nasty Devil Fruit user, whose name is Nessa, and a leprechaun guy. The ring changes to a huge pool filled with Tavrok's special milk. Nessa apparently can swim in it because it's Tavrok's special milk. Bradley jumps right into it and the fight begins, but the episode 24 ends right there. But now, roll episode 25. But before we go any further, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. According to this statistic below, 74% of you who are watching it right now are not subscribed, so please subscribe right now. Also, hit the bell so you would get notified whenever the new video will come out. According to this statistic, only 12% of all my subs turn their bell on. Let's get this number to at least 30. I would highly appreciate it. Also, join my Discord where you would get exclusive stuff and where you could even chat with me. Link would be in the description below. Okay, let's play a little game. How do you think episode starts? Option A. Episode starts with boys discussing something important. Option B. Episode starts with Tavrok's monologue. And option C. Fight. Yeah, you guessed it, it's once again a fucking fight. Bradley and Kai against Nessa and Leprechaun guy whose name is Seamus. Ultimately, we have two 1v1s. Bradley against Nessa and Kai against Seamus. To tell you low key, I was kinda thinking this fight is going to be much easier than the Amarillo one, but it was not. Nessa is a pretty heavy hitter, being 4th strongest on the crew, She has about 140 plus HP and can do damage. She can tail slam and bite, but also has her Hydro Pump. Cyril is going to copyright strike her. Also, does it mean she pumps using Tavrok's special milk? That's pretty funny. Anyways, slams and bites do a lot of damage to Bradley, and even though Hydro Pump missed a few times, when it hits. So, Bradley being very low is hiding underwater and uses his stealth damage to take down this 140 plus HP Loch Ness monster himself, which in the end he does, but it definitely was not an easy fight for Bradley, and he absolutely needed short rest after to gain additional hit points, which he did afterwards. But before that, we have Fisherman against a Leprechaun. Shout out to all my Irish viewers if I have any, but shout out to you all and great country of Ireland. So, Seamus has about 70 HP, but his strength heavily relies on luck. He either can be weak as fuck or strong as hell. He has an ability called Golden Coin Barrage, where he gets to throw coins at his opponent until one of them misses. Theoretically, this attack can do infinite amount of damage. Statistically and realistically, unfortunately, not pun intended, only one of those had a long run during the fight but took out a good chunk of Kai's health. He also has an ability called Shillelagh, I think, which is a wooden walking stick and a club, typically made from a stout, knotty blackthorn stick with a large knob at the top. So, it's his most powerful attack, but the most interesting attack is Lucky Charms, which is a cereal that has a leprechaun as its mascot, and that's why Rastage used it here. Basically, he throws his Lucky Charms into the milk, and as a bonus action he gets to eat one of them, which gives him some magical bonus ability. But for some reason, he always rolls speed 1, so he was harder to hit. Belle had to grab him twice. Also, our boys ate one of them, but because they're not leprechaun, they need to use a whole action for that. Also, one of them makes person luckier. Anyways, Kai finishes him off, but also as Bradley very wounded and uses his short rest after to gain his HP back. Also during the fight, Kai used a flashlight to call Mossman, and Mossman was going to it, but Tavrok power slammed him into the ground and knocked poor man unconscious. Tavrok decides on the next 3, who are also the last 3 before him: Cockatrice, Fenrir and Chupacabra. Damien calls him out to the 1v1 strength battle, but our group changes his opinion as it's probably not a good decision. Anyways, Damien takes Raj and Hazard and goes against those 3. Out of all of them, the only good contender turns out to be El Chupacabra. By the way, where is that guard there they have with them? What's his name? Where is that guard? Hold on, what's his name? Let me see. Where is Hoover, the guy that was with them? The entry guard they took with them. He was there at the hospital. I guess he was there when they slept there because they wouldn't let him go, right? So I just think that it means that he needs to go with them, but I think Rastage and boys just forgot about him. Technically he should be there at the Monster Slam, but I guess I don't know. Anyways, out of all of them, the only good contender turns out to be El Chupacabra. Fenrir, even though having an ability to become bigger with every single damage he took, fell short to our bunny unicorn with his dual blades and Cyborg Man. Damien knocked the Fenrir out of the ring, and he had to basically keep him out of it for one fight round, and he would be disqualified, which he did with his web grenade. Cockatrice turned out to be just a chicken. Hazard, by the way, was terrified. Despite El Chupacabra showing a good fight, Damien and Raj defeated him. They didn't kill him though. Before that, Tavrok came down and grabbed El Chupacabra and was about to murk that man, but Kai, out of nowhere, shot at Minotaur Man, and I think we were waiting for the final ultimate fight in the next Mist Pirates arc begins. So, our boys getting rid of all Mist Pirates that were left decide to jump Tavrock and not fight him in 1v1 as it was planned from the beginning. We actually get a little bit of this fight in this episode, which is great. Bradley, knowing that Tavrock is mostly a melee guy, immediately runs into the crowd and hides there. Hazard has a PTSD and starts calling for help and for Bradley specifically, but he can't answer back or he would be seen. Damien uses his second gear and uses his new ability which mirrors him. Basically, he moves so fast he creates his mirages. Tavrock falls for one of those and loses one of his actions on it. Damien can use it like 4 times, so only 3 times left. Taiga, being so sick but still asking Damien for a fight against 3s that were last round, doesn't give a single fuck and runs at Tavrock, gets close ranged with him and hits him a few times. Gets slammed by Tavrock but doesn't get knocked out though. Yokan gets up close and hits him a few times, but Tavrock takes Yokan's head in his one hand and slams her, knocking her out. Kai, shooting from afar, had a medkit, almost brings back Mothman instead of Yokan, but common sense wins at the end and our monk is back on feet. He also makes Belle get pretty close to Mako. Bradley, shooting from the crowd, shouts at Hazard that he needs to hide and that she doesn't need to panic and everything is going to be good. Hits Tavrock and hides again in the crowd. Damien is teasing Tavrock to hit him. Taiga still not giving a single fuck about this enormous Minotaur man, runs at him once again and hits him again. Man, I love Taiga. He has so much spirit considering how much weaker he is compared to all those fighters like Human and Tavrock. He still runs at them and does his best. You just have to give props to this Taiga-tastic character. Tavrock is about to hit someone and out of nowhere, a man hits him and it's El Chupacabra and not Jiro. Nope, Jiro is still nowhere to be found, but Chupacabra man is here and he, getting saved by Kai, decides to help our boys kill Tavrock, and the episode ends right there, to be continued.